What if I told you that a single act of desperation from a homeless girl would completely transform a billionaire's life forever? Stay with me, because what happens next will blow your mind and restore your faith in humanity. Rain was pouring down on Madison Avenue like the city was crying. The kind of rain that soaks through your soul. And there she was, 12-year-old Sophia Williams, clutching a soggy cardboard sign that read, "Hungry. Anything helps." Her torn sneakers had more holes than protection, and her jacket, well, calling it jacket was being generous. But Sophia wasn't your typical street kid. No, this girl had something different in her eyes. Hope, even when the world had given her every reason to give up. You see, Sophia's mom, Rebecca, was dying, stage 4 cancer. They'd lost their apartment 6 months ago when the medical bills swallowed their savings whole. Now, they were living in a beat-up Toyota Camry that barely started, parked behind a 24-hour diner on the east side. "Baby, I'm not hungry tonight," Rebecca would lie, watching Sophia eat the only meal they could afford, a day-old sandwich split between them. But Sophia knew. She always knew. That's when she heard about him. Marcus Blackwood, the tech billionaire. The man who'd built an empire from nothing. The same man who, 3 years ago, had been in a skiing accident that left him paralyzed from the waist down. Marcus lived in a penthouse that cost more than most people see in a lifetime. Every day, his chef would throw away enough food to feed a small village. Gourmet meals, untouched desserts, organic everything, straight into the dumpster behind his building. Sophia had been watching for weeks. Every Tuesday at 8 p.m., like clockwork, bags of perfectly good food would appear in that dumpster. But here's the thing about Marcus Blackwood. He was bitter. The accident had turned him into someone who saw the world as cruel and meaningless. Life's not fair, so why should I be? That was his motto. His assistant, Jennifer, would beg him to donate the leftover food. "Mr. Blackwood, there are shelters that would take this." But Marcus would just roll his wheelchair away. Let them figure out themselves. I did. But Sophia? She had a plan. A crazy, desperate, beautiful plan. On that rainy Tuesday night, instead of going to the dumpster, Sophia walked right up to the front door of Marcus's building. The doorman, Kevin, looked at this soaking wet kid like she lost her mind. "Hey, sweetheart, you can't be here." "Please," Sophia said, her voice shaking but determined. "I need to see Mr. Blackwood. I have something he wants." Kevin almost laughed. "Kid, what could you possibly have that Marcus Blackwood wants?" Sophia reached into her pocket and pulled out a crumpled piece of paper. On it was a drawing. Not just any drawing. It was a picture of Marcus walking. Actually walking. Standing tall, arms raised to the sky, with the biggest smile you've ever seen. "I drew this after I saw him on the news," Sophia said. "In my drawing, he's walking again. I know it sounds crazy, but I believe in miracles. And I want to trade this miracle for his leftover food." Now, Kevin could have called security. He could have sent this kid away. But something in her eyes stopped him. Maybe it was the hope. Maybe it was the innocence. Or maybe it was something bigger. "Wait here," Kevin said. Upstairs, Marcus was having another one of his dark nights. Staring out at the city, wondering why he even bothered. The business was successful, sure, but what was the point? He couldn't feel his legs. He couldn't dance. He couldn't run. He couldn't even stand up to hug someone properly. "Mr. Blackwood," Jennifer knocked softly. "There's a little girl downstairs. She wants to trade something for your leftover food." Marcus rolled his eyes. Another sob story. "Tell her no. She says she has a miracle for you." Now that stopped Marcus cold. "A what?" "A miracle, sir." She drew you a picture of you walking. For a moment, just a moment, something cracked inside Marcus's chest. But then the walls went back up. "This is ridiculous. Send her away." But Jennifer had already made a decision. She's coming up. When the elevator doors opened and Sophia stepped out, soaking wet, but standing tall, Marcus felt something he hadn't felt in 3 years. Curiosity. "So you're the girl who thinks she has a miracle for me?" Marcus said, trying to sound dismissive, Sophia walked right up to him. No fear, no hesitation. "Yes, sir. My name is Sophia Williams, and I drew this for you." She handed him the picture. Marcus looked at the drawing, and something inside him broke. It wasn't just a picture of him walking. It was a picture of him happy. Truly, genuinely happy. When was the last time he'd felt that? "This is just a drawing, kid," Marcus said, but his voice was softer now. "My mama taught me that miracles start with believing," Sophia said. "And I believe you're going to walk again. I believe you're going to be happy again. And I believe that good things happen to good people." Good people. Marcus laughed, but it wasn't cruel. It was broken. "Kid, I'm not a good person. I've got more money than I could spend in 10 lifetimes, and I've never helped anyone." "But you could," Sophia said simply. "That's what makes you good. You have the power to help, and deep down, I know you want to." Marcus stared at this little girl, this homeless, hungry, desperate little girl who was trying to trade hope for leftovers. And something inside him shifted. "Why do you need the food?" he asked. "My mama is sick. Cancer. We live in our car. I've been getting your leftover food from the dumpster for weeks. But tonight I thought, maybe if I asked nicely, maybe if I offered something in return." Marcus felt his eyes burn. This kid had been eating his garbage, and she was still trying to give him something beautiful in return. "What's your mama's name?" "Rebecca Williams." Marcus wheeled over to his computer. His fingers flew across the keyboard. Within minutes, he'd found her. Rebecca Williams, 34 years old, diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer. No insurance. Medical bills totaling over $200,000. "Sophia," Marcus said quietly, "I want to show you something." He pulled up his bank account on the screen. Sophia's eyes went wide. "I have more money than I could ever spend. But you know what I don't have?" Marcus's voice cracked. "I don't have hope. I don't have faith. I don't have anyone who believes in miracles for me." He reached for his phone. "Jennifer, call Dr. Patterson at Mercy General. Tell him I'm personally funding whatever Rebecca Williams needs. Full treatment, best doctors, private room. And call my real estate agent. I want to buy a house. Something nice, but not too big. Perfect for a mother and daughter." Sophia's knees gave out. She sank to the floor, crying, but Marcus wasn't done. "And Sophia, I'm going to keep this picture. I'm going to put it on my wall, right where I can see it every day. Because you're right. Miracles do start with believing." Over the next few months, something incredible happened. Rebecca got the treatment she needed. They moved into a beautiful 3-bedroom house in Queens. Sophia started at a new school where she excelled in art. But the real miracle? Marcus started walking again. Not physically, but spiritually. He began funding medical research for spinal cord injuries. He started a foundation for homeless families. He learned to find joy in giving rather than having. And every Tuesday at 8 p.m., instead of throwing away leftover food, Marcus and Sophia would pack it up and deliver it to shelters around the city. Together, 6 months later, Rebecca was in remission. Marcus was smiling again. And Sophia? She was still drawing pictures of miracles. But now she knew the secret. The real miracle wasn't in the drawing. It wasn't in the money. It wasn't even in the healing. The real miracle was in the moment when two people, one rich and one poor, one bitter and one hopeful, decided to see the humanity in each other. You see, Sophia didn't just trade a drawing for leftover food that night. She traded hope for purpose, faith for meaning, love for love. And sometimes, that's all it takes to change everything. Marcus never did walk again, physically, but he learned something better. He learned that the real miracle isn't in what your body can do. It's in what your heart chooses to do. Today, the Marcus Blackwood Foundation has helped over 10,000 families. Rebecca Williams is cancer-free and works as a counselor at the foundation. And Sophia? She's in high school now, still drawing pictures of miracles, because she knows they're real. The next time you think you have nothing to offer, remember Sophia Williams. Remember that sometimes the smallest act of faith can move mountains. Remember that miracles aren't just about getting what you want. They're about becoming who you're meant to be. Because in the end, we all have something to trade. Hope for healing. Faith for purpose. love for love. And that trade can change everything.